All right, what's going on, guys? I'm just reading some of these comments you guys have in here right now. So I'm so glad you all could join tonight. Going to be another fun one. So as you can see, if you're not kind of having fun with the whole thing and making fun of yourself, then what's the point? I mean, hey, DC was nice enough to make that thing. I guess nice enough. I don't even know if nice enough is the right word or whatever. But hey, you got to just enjoy it. You got to accept what it is and have a good old time with it. So that's always the main thing. So thanks guys for joining tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Happy to see everybody as always. Kind of you get used to these Tuesday nights and it's always a ton of fun. So I'm always happy to be just kind of in here having some fun with you guys. So let me go back to the beginning. Let me say hi to a bunch of people who are in here right away. So as you can see, Hawk Ross has made his presence felt. That's for sure. So DC, my man, he was in here first with the this was one I haven't seen yet, the Hairy Hawk. All right, I don't know about that one, but we'll roll with it. My man Todd Ritter. Todd, how's it going, buddy? Sugar Kitty. Brett, good to see you, buddy. Hawkstar, yes, sir. Trying my best. Tim Gorgeous. Timmy, how's it going, buddy? What else we got here? Matt, good to see you, buddy. Always nice to see some folks and names you see quite a bit. So always happy to see you in here. So Christopher David. Christopher, how's it going, buddy? My man Todd Ritter, good to see you. Some of these comments, you guys are an absolute trip, I'll tell you. And I guess I don't even know how you guys last week came up with the shirt idea and all that stuff right away. But I don't know who in the hell would ever want one of those shirts. Is beyond me. That thing is hideous as far as I'm concerned. But hey, I accept it. I'm good with it. Hey, it's all in good fun. And if somebody wants that hideous afro picture of me somehow on their chest, then hey, more power to you. So Cam, how's it going, buddy? I see Brett's already put the link and stuff to that thing. So it's unbelievable. I'm sure obviously you guys saw the thumbnail. So I'll show another one here. I don't know if many people have seen the other one or not that I've got, but it's pretty darn funny. So David, how's it going? Hopefully you and the boys are enjoying the hut. Let's see what else we got here. Brian, good to see you. Hi there, buddy. Timmy, how's it going, bud? You got to love the Hawk Ross. That Bob Ross. I don't know. I'd never even thought about it as a younger person. You just see that guy. You didn't even think. I mean, you think the hair is kind of crazy, but the franchise. How's it going, Gary? Good to see you. Abandoned Bourbon. How's it going? What else we got? My man Dusty. We'll get into a couple things there. Dusty's going to be involved here pretty soon. Karen, good to see you. All right. TK, good to see you as always. I think how's it going, Harley? Good to see you. My man from the north, Alex B. How's it going, brother? Darrell, always good to see you. Another person we'll be mentioning here shortly coming up next month. Johnny T. Johnny, good to see you, brother. What else we got here? All right, let me get back down here, get caught back up. Nate Cox, good to see you, brother. The Brazier, hey, the wife let you out of work. That's good. I'm glad. Good to always see you, brother. Across the depth. Top Dog. All right, hey, brother, how's it going, bud? What do we got here? Scotty Pinball. I love that. Sounds very mob-esque. Scotty Pinball. What else we got? All right, I'm all caught up. So thanks, guys. Appreciate it. So yeah, I'm going to accept everything for what it is. I don't know if I think Marty's probably still going a little bit. I kind of started right on time, but I'm sure he's still with Mark and Sherry Carter. So tonight's basically just kind of a kickback. Let's have some fun, kind of shoot the shit a little bit, and I've busted out a few bottles that I've gotten recently, have opened a couple of them, but I'll let you guys kind of decide what I'm going to what I'll start with tonight. So as you can see, what's up here. Thanks, my man. Always good to be first. Never want to be last. First is always good. Thanks, Brazer. Good to see you, bud. So yeah, so there are a few things. So I've got the. Let me post this also. So this will get you. And if there's a mod who wants to keep track of any super chats tonight and is able to, I would appreciate it. So, so I'm going to do this right now. So here's tonight's like little giveaway. So I've got the Seagrass 16, which I think is going to ultimately end up being a fairly special whiskey. I've got it opened up right now. I kind of poured it in the glass a little while ago and wanted it to open up. In fairness, I did actually open it the other night because I was anxious. I had it probably sitting around for, I don't know. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. So I had it sitting around for maybe a week or 10 days without opening it, just kind of waiting for, I don't know what, what I was waiting for. But I opened it up, I think actually over the weekend and shared some with the wife. And just kind of wanted to see what it was like off the neck. So, and I guess right off the neck, I think what happened with this is, I mean, let me first say it's very, very good, first off, but it's nowhere really in comparison to the regular Seagrass, that they released last year. Again, incredible whiskey. Just much on the sweeter side. I'd say less complex than this, of course. I mean, you're dealing with a whole different kind of whiskey, period. I mean, this is all 16-year Canadian whiskey. So you've got something that's going to have a little bit of, different richness. Now, it was still finished in the, what is it called? Martinique rum and Madeira and apricot brandy barrels. So some really kind of interesting finishing techniques, which was one of the things I really enjoyed a lot about the Seagrass. Was it just was something very, very different, unique, and it actually ended up being my 21 whiskey of the year, not of the bourbons, but basically anything that was non-bourbon. I love the richness and the complexity of it. So anyway, so I kind of got into this a little bit over the weekend. And the one thing I'll say is, as this sits out and it's in your glass for a while, and actually may warm up a little bit, it really turns in a very good way. So we'll get into that. I'll leave that a little bit later. So if there's anything you guys see up here outside of the Four Roses up, this is one that I just got couple weeks ago when I was in Kentucky, and we'll talk a little bit about that. But all the others are fair game. I'll kind of sit with, start with whatever. So I've got our most recent Mash and Journey picks, the Bull Run American whiskey and the Westland single malt, and this guy right here is kind of a surprise for me. But the Buzzard's Roost, I don't know if you guys have heard much about them, but I think they're doing some really cool, fun things as well. So I know Jason Bronner is the owner of the company who also owns Bourbon's Bistro, and I'll actually have him on the channel next week. So we'll be talking a little bit about more about his background, his restaurant, what got him kind of into the whole bourbon thing, and kind of why he decided to start like his own brand. So. Anyway, so all right, let's see, what do we got here? All right, so awesome. Love the mint caramel dream. That was a incredible rye. So let's see, what do we have? Any suggestions as to what you guys want me to start with? What do we have here? Yeah, fire away. If not, I'll pour something and we'll kind of get going. So. And let me know what you guys are all drinking. So that's just as important as as what I am. I'm always interested in anybody else opening a. All right, drink the Bull Run. Let's go with the Bull Run. Have a little bit of the old whack attack and try some of that. I've already kind of busted into this one too, but oh yeah, and if anyone's interested, we got some more of these guys. Hang on. These are the new Deep Etch Mash and Journey Kenzie glasses. These came out really, really nice. So shoot me an email and we can swing a deal, something like that. So yeah. So let's see. So let's talk first. Since Ethan suggested, I was too late. So I've got the trilogy stuff, but they're across the way. So, or I would have. Hey, brother. Okay, good to see you. Hey, good show tonight. Always love seeing Mark and Sherry. That's for sure. So, all right, this is what I'm going with right now. The starting out with the Bull Run. So, all right, here's what we got with the Bull Run. So this is our 13-year American whiskey. Comes in 123.96 proof. So really, really nice proof on that. Let's see, can you guys see that? And then, of course, you got this guy right here. Look at the old Waxter, looking like Zach Morris. The whack attack. For anybody who's, I don't know. I don't know if you have to be super old or not to know what Saved by the Bell was, but I don't know. Maybe you do. And I'll tell you, Woodinville, some of the stuff that they've been doing, some of it has been some really crazy good stuff. That's for darn sure. So, yeah, the Foregate, I mean, the trilogy stuff, I've got them sitting over on the other side of the room. So, let's see what else we got here. Yeah, that Bull Run really, really came out nicely. I mean, it's so like buttery. There's this vanilla buttercream aspect that I've always gotten like right from the get-go on this one. So you do get a little bit of like a toasted almond. There's a little bit of a nutty characteristic that's there on it too, but it's still got some nice richness and stuff to it. So little on the fruity side. You get, for me, it's probably a little bit more along the lines of there's a little bit of a tartness that's there on it, but I also get a little bit of the, I guess could still be a little bit of the tartness, like a green apple, something like that. But it's something that I really enjoy with that whiskey, is that it still never loses its overall richness. You do get some of that age, not over oaked by any means, and the heat part of it, there's still a little bit there. So you do get a little bit of that kind of Kentucky hug, but it's a little bit later. You get a lot of that rich kind of just sweetness, like right up front. So that's really nice. But I think it's balanced very well. I mean, for an American whiskey, and some of them can, and at times some can be kind of hit or miss. And with this one, I mean, I think it really stood out when we were doing the pick. It really stood out quite a bit. So we were really happy with that. So if anybody else has that, let me know your thoughts. I'd love to hear, some of your, see in the comments if anybody has the whack attack, the Bull Run. And if so, if you guys are enjoying it or whatever, whatever your opinion is. So yeah, there's just something that's more of like, like a, I don't know if it's like an almond or something like along those lines. But a lot of vanillas, a lot of honey, things like that. You don't get a lot of the oak. You do get some of those more, get a little bit more of that tartness that's there. really digging. I mean, I think we did a good job. I mean, we had some really good people. Christopher David, Jeffrey Wack. We had some really good people on this pick, so that helped. That helped a ton when you can have, some really, really good people, involved in a pick, because, you want to get outside of, your little bit of your comfort zone and see what it is that other people are really enjoying as well. So what's up, nerd? So yeah, we've got some, so anyway, we've got the bull run that we did, the Westland. I think some people, honestly, I know with a single malt, and some people either American single malt are either not overly crazy about some of them, but we got lucky with this Westland that it ended up being some of Westland's like first stock. So this one was going back quite a while, and it ended up being, I mean, head and tails the best one that we had that night. Originally, we did have one that was a wine. It was finished in, I forget what the wine was, but it was a wine cask finish, and it was like 130 some proof. But there was already a group that ended up taking it, so we weren't able to secure that one. But this one here really ended up being, I think, something special. And for anybody who's, I'll say, not totally into, American single malts, I think this one might be one of those ones that helps to kind of change your mind. It's very rich and creamy, viscous, and we'll kind of get into that a little bit here, in a few more minutes. I want to dive into that, but so these were the two most recent ones. And for, I guess, real quick, any of the anyone who's part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So Friday, we're releasing our Ron Azalco 10-year cask strength rum. It's like 122 or 123 proof. Again, 10-year rum, no additives, no sugars, all natural, and an incredible rum. So we're super excited for that. And again, that's part of the whole deal with what Jason and I are doing, is trying to always do some different things. And we'll talk a little bit here about what we kind of have coming up and all of that. So those two were the most recent launches that we had, and I think everything is sold out except, I think, the Westland. I think there's still a few of the Westlands left, but it was, we've got a few of those left. So let me see what we got in the chat. So, yeah, good. So this was one of the things. I mean, we wanted to introduce, people who are like really familiar with the American single malts, or to somebody who isn't overly familiar with what they have to offer. We felt that this one would have really kind of hit home with this. You had to get out of your mind that it's not a Scotch. You're not going to be dealing with anything that's peaty or anything along those lines. It's not that. And I, trust me, I get it. I mean, I'm not a Scotch guy at all. And it took me a little while to kind of get into the American single malts as well, with it being a whole, different grain, being malted barley. You had that different profile, but it really ended up kind of, hitting what I was like, what I never knew I was missing is really how that Westland ended up, being for me anyway. So it was really, really nice. So, what do we got here? If you're talking about the rum, I think it's like $69, $68.99 or something. It will be done through Curiata. And I guess let me touch on that for anybody who is part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. If you're not, hey, feel free to join. We're more than welcome to. You're more than welcome to join, and we'd love to have you. But so we are going through Curiata. The nice part now is they've added some states, but they're also going to more of a zip code generated system. So at the time of purchase, when the links get emailed to each one of you, in your tier, you'll have the ability to throw your zip code in there. It'll tell you whether or not the bottle can be shipped to you. Now they've added some states, so it should add a larger, zip code, area. I think they've added Pennsylvania, Ohio. Oh boy, what else was it? There were a few big ones that were there. I think Virginia was on there. A few of them. But anyway, so when you guys get the email on Friday, which will be starting at 5 Eastern for tier 1, you'll be able to put your zip code in, and it'll tell you whether or not they'll ship to you. So, I mean, for that rum that we've got coming for Friday, I mean, to get a cask strength rum, aged, 10 years or beyond, actually, that's the youngest of the blending in there, in ex-bourbon, casks as well. So really nice, rich rum, so hopefully you guys will enjoy that, whoever decides to pick that one up. So, all right, let me move on to something else now. I'll probably save the single malt for kind of towards the end, just to not influence the barley with the bourbons, things like that. One thing really quickly, I'll say, I was super excited to get this guy. Let's see here. There we go. So this was a 4-0. So we got a little, we were with Trevor Kunkel and Dude Pool, and we got a little inside tip that the Four Roses, the Cox Creek, I guess like gift shop, let's call it, was releasing a Four Roses pick. Now, in today's day and age, we all know very well that, I mean, it takes forever or not very long to the word to spread, and then all of a sudden all the bottles are gone. So we got a pretty good little tip, and by the time we ultimately got over there, I don't know how many were left. We were told that there weren't very many left. Whether it was true or not, we don't know. But the four of us all were able to secure a bottle. And the one thing I'll say that's kind of cool that they're doing now is hey, Paul, how's it going, buddy? Good to see you. What they're doing now is, so when you buy a bottle, at least there, and I think a lot of places, they actually scan your driver's license, and it prevents you from buying another bottle of the same thing that day. So if they have something else the following day, then you're more than welcome to it. But you can't just kind of come back in with your hat turned around and a different jacket on and secure another bottle. They've really kind of tightened that stuff up, and probably for the good, because I mean, we all know that there's going to be a lot of people who are going to try to buck the system. They want to get multiples, or want to flip them, or do whatever it is. So they're trying to do whatever they can to put as many bottles in as many people's hands as possible. So, and I'm perfectly fine with that. If you're able to get one, I mean, one's better than zero. So that's the way I kind of look at it now. And with so many of us having so many whiskeys, yeah, is it nice to have a backup? Yeah, for some things it is, but just more importantly, open up your bottles and enjoy them with hey, either yourself or friends and all of that. So let's see what else we got. So yeah, I was super excited. So what is this one? So this was the Brent Elliott pick. So this one came in so this is the 35% rye. This is an OBSQ, which was kind of cool. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it. Age stated on this one, 10 years and 8 months. So really nice age on a bourbon. And I'm a huge Four Roses fan. So I love basically both of their high rye bourbons, the 21 and the 35. So huge fan of both of those. So yeah, Trevor, couldn't agree more. It was a really fun time. That was when we were doing the Rebel and Ezra picks again, and I think we might have gotten two barrels that are on par, if not slightly ahead of the other Rebel and Ezra that we did. And the one thing it kind of made me realize was how sneaky good those 120 proof, is it 120 or 125? I forget what they are. 100. It's either 120 or 125. I think 120. Those Rebel cast strength wheated bourbons, man, they're just they're so good, especially at that higher proof. Now we're tasting them, basically barrel proof. However, what we did in the Rebel and Ezra was they had a chart that, based on the amount of whatever it was, an ounce, let's call it, it already calculated how many drops of water were going to go in that each glass to bring that down to the barrel proof, the 120 range or whatever it was. I think it was 120. And so we were really able to taste the whiskeys at roughly what it's going to be when they're, in the bottle. So that way we weren't trying to just simply guess at, hey, what's this whiskey going to taste like after it's proofed down? But with that being said, the proofs were just slightly higher than 120. So we were never really having to add that much water to the glasses. So, these things are as close to barrel proof as you're going to get with a little bit of water being added. So, it wasn't like we were bringing these things down to 90 or 100. We were bringing them from like 123 to 120. So not a huge range. So, anyway, the Rebel and Ezra, that was a really good time. And, four of us were able to, I think, really secure some really nice bottles again for the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club. So, all right, let's move on here while I still have the Seagrass 16. And hey, if anyone wants a sample of the Seagrass 16, get in a little super chat. Also send you a Mash and Journey Kenzie or Glencairn. So good deal there. So let's try the Buzzard's Roost. And as I was mentioning before, I'm actually going to have Jason Bronner on the channel next week. We're going to talk about, obviously Bourbon's Bistro, all of that good stuff. So we'll have him on. We'll be tasting through a little bit of their lineup. We'll talk about, again, the restaurant, the hell's the name of that restaurant again? Bourbon's Bistro. So really cool place there in Louisville. So yeah, I think they've got some really interesting kind of fun things going on. And I know he's been, in the business an awful long time. So, it'll be really interesting to get his perspective on not only as a, restaurant owner, but a whiskey enthusiast, and then now somebody who owns a whiskey brand. So that's kind of an interesting perspective when you're kind of hitting, all those areas. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see what else we got here. And we'll talk a little bit about what we've got coming up too. So what's everybody else sipping on? So I know maybe a few of you said before, but some people have kind of come rolling in here a little bit recently. So let me know what you guys are sipping on. So. For me, it's different. I know they're doing some of the different things with the wood finishing barrels. They're doing a lot of different stuff with that. So it's going to impart a little different flavor profile than some of the things. But the one thing I was getting with this, now this just happens to be, and again, I wouldn't sleep on these guys either. I think what they're doing is some pretty cool stuff too. So as you can see, this is the barrel strength. This guy is coming in at 114.4. So really nice proof on that guy as well. So all right, about to pop the old Whack Attack. Just finished a little sample of that as well. Of course. If anybody else is going to point that out, thanks, Brazier. Appreciate it, bud. Definitely can't go wrong with the old Knob Creek 12. One of my favorites. I wish that was one you could find a little easier, but it's not the easiest thing. So, Eric's Diprofio sounds very, very Italian. Ogre Lounge definitely needs to taste of that Seagrass 16. Definitely, the Seagrass 16 is one of my favorites. It is. So, I mean, it's very different than the standard Seagrass. That's for sure. So, Pop, I'm good to see you, brother. And also, if anybody hasn't watched and seen some of the rye flights that he's done, I know he just dropped his the champion stuff the other day. I won't give it away or anything. Go watch the video, but it was a very, very fun and entertaining video again. So good job, Troy. Oh man, gotta love the old Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Those are some incredible bourbons, that's for sure. So all right, good to see him. Hey, Troy or Trevor, I'm glad to see you're trying a little bit of the Westland. It's a really fun whiskey, that's for sure. And yeah, that I didn't get to try it, but have heard everybody so far raving about the triple stave finish from Bardstown Bourbon Company. So we were able to fortunately taste while we were there one of the new releases they've got coming. I think like in the next week or so, it's the KBS. So they finished a Tennessee. Now stay with me here for a second. For anyone who hasn't seen, Jason did a really good review on it, but for anybody who hasn't seen that, they finished what we're guessing is I think a 10-year Dickel in KBS. So from Founders KBS stout barrels. And I'll tell you what, you would have never have guessed that was the Tennessee whiskey that so many people kind of look down upon. There was not that mineral kind of note on it at all. I mean, it was just really not there. And that whiskey, for whatever it is that was, and those barrels that they finished them in, man, they played really, really well together. I mean, chocolate, espresso, a little bit of kind of orange spice to it, but it was really, really fantastic whiskey. And I think it'll probably be right in that 125, 130 range. And again, Bardstown Bourbon Company is really trying to get their stuff out far, to far more places. So they're doing a really good job with that. So Johnny T, thanks, buddy. Seagrass sample at the right price, worth a shot. I mean, hey, the bottle itself is $250 plus by the time you pay for shipping, $285. I mean, you're, sub $300 bottle. So, what the hell, for a few bucks, it's worth getting in on the game. How's it going, William? Yep, we got our ASW Duality single barrel pick. William was part of that. So that was a really fun one. Interesting whiskey that is as well. So again, it's just part of, hey, what we're trying to do, bring some different things. So that was a really, really rich whiskey. That's for sure. So what else we got here? Yeah. So most of my, honestly, it's been a little while since I've done any of the old Carter stuff, and it was early on. I had a fair amount of them. I went through them pretty quickly, was able to do some reviews, but again, it was also much, much easier at that time to get some of the old Carter bottles. Nowadays, you just don't even see see that many of them to get anymore. And if they're online, they're gone so quickly that you can't even get them. So, but thanks, I appreciate that though. Thanks, bud. Appreciate it. Thanks, Dean. Always good to see some new faces. That's for sure. So thanks, Dean. Appreciate that. Now get back to work. What else we got here? I'm not sure what 160 is in reference to. Must have missed that, but oh, okay. So you were saving your bottle of the Westland. So cool. That's awesome. Hey, that's one of the cool things about whiskey right there is having something that you think is something kind of special and wanting to share it with others. That's really, really cool. So Bardstown Bourbon Company okay. They rubbed a good one. They rubbed a good one out. That's for sure with that KBS finish. That's for sure. So cool. Awesome. Glad you could come. So what's up, System Trend? How's it going, buddy? I was going to buy this bottle, but bought a Stag Junior instead. I don't know which one that was in reference to. The Seagrass 16. I don't know. I mean, the one thing I liked, if that's what you're talking about, I mean, the Seagrass 16 for me, there's just something that's different and unique. Again, depending on what you're paying for the Stag Junior, if you're paying secondary prices, you're probably paying close to what the retail on this guy is anyway. So, what do you got, Brazier? Back in 2019, Old Carter was every shelf in Kentucky. Now, not so much. Exactly. So that was part of why I was able to review fairly early on a lot of those batches. I mean, I have still downstairs, a couple of the Old Carter American whiskey batch ones. I mean, for me, it was some of the best stuff that they've still done, and I don't even know what they're on as far as the American whiskeys and stuff go now. But I mean, one thing I'll say is Mark and Sherry Carter do an incredible job blending and putting out some fantastic whiskeys. And I was always a little bit down on the rye, but I think as of the last maybe year, maybe two, those ryes have gotten significantly better to me anyway. So I've never seen Old Carter or Stag, anything around me, plus no company ships to Texas. I think so. Okay, so as far as companies or anybody shipping to Texas, I'm pretty sure you can get stuff through one of our partners, Shared Pour. You can check out Mr. Great Shot. You can check out sharedpour.com, and I'm almost positive they'll ship to Texas. They got a pretty good selection of stuff as well. Maybe not always Old Carters and things like that, but they do a good job with shipping and stuff as well. So, all right, let's get back to the Buzzard's Roost. Speaking of that, has anybody had any of this? If so, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this. I know they've got several different things, and they've also got one that's a peated bourbon. And I'm not exactly sure how to kind of take that. I mean, that's a very odd, it seems like a very odd thing. I mean, as much as it piques my curiosity, I'll say that. I'm not expecting to like it, but that doesn't mean that I won't. Usually peat is not something I really dig very much, but all right, what do you got, Robot? Old Carter was all over for 180 a year ago, now 400. Yeah, that's become the part of the problem, is that the distribution of it has maybe, I don't want to say gotten a little bit bigger, but a lot of the liquor stores who are getting those things are very aware of what it is that they've got now. Because when I got my Old Carter Batch 5 bourbon, I got it at a little liquor store in Kentucky. They didn't even know, honestly, what the hell it even was. I got it for retail. I think it was still at the time sub $200. I think it was like $189 was the. I think it was like $189, and they didn't even know I said, I'll take the old Carter. And the lady was like, well, which one is that? Had no idea what it even was. So, DC, I would expect nothing less from you, brother. So you won't see me turn into. I can guarantee I won't turn into a Pete head. There's zero chance of that. So, Dougie, how's it going, my man? Good to see you, brother. What's up, brother? Good to see you, Matthew. What does it say? The Buzzard's Roost Peated Rye is super good, and I don't like peat. All right, cool. So that was one of the things. I mean, if nothing else, it was interesting. I don't know if I've seen or heard of a peated bourbon before. Speaking of the man, Speaking of the man, how's it going, brother? Good to see you. I don't know if I've ever had or even seen. I know I've not had, but I've not even heard of a peated bourbon. And I always question, like, why would you want to do it? But now that Big Sexy's kind of mentioned that he's tried it and it was good, and he's not a peat fan, I'm even more interested now. So that'll be kind of cool. So Doug, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate it, buddy. Archie, how's it going? I think you just celebrated your 50th, if I'm thinking right. I think you might have just celebrated your 50th birthday the other day. So if so, happy birthday, brother. Says my Bourbon Journey, sipping on some Michter Small Batch. Yep. Cheers to you, Scott. Love the live stream and content, my brother. Thanks, Arch. Appreciate it. Yeah, you've always been one of the big supporters. So hey, I appreciate you. So. All right, what do you got, Popham? So we have stores here in Louisiana. Thought the old Carter was old Carter and thought they would never sell. Yeah, that's been the thing. I mean, they've really kind of caught on to the old Carter stuff. So what else we got here? It's not a peated bourbon. The barrel smoke. Oh, okay. So that's what the deal was. So, the barrel smoked with peat. Okay. So, I mean, I guess that's a little bit better. I guess the other issue with that is, peat being a very, very intense, really I'm guessing imparts the flavor, that profile into the bourbon. So I'm hoping that I know they were supposed to be sending some samples that I could taste the stuff along with Jason from Bourbon's Bistro. During the tasting next week or the live stream that I've got with them. So that'll be interesting. I'll see what shows up, but it'll be kind of cool to see whatever it is they send. So what do you got here, Adriana? I know there's a Kings County peated bourbon. Okay, I know that's another one where they supposedly are doing some really good things. I believe all sourced MGP as well, but that'll be interesting too. So, but yeah, I'm kind of really digging I like this. There's something about this having a little bit of for me, it's heavy brown sugars. I think Jason might have opened up one of these last week, and I think he did it like right off the neck. This one's been open now for, almost 2 weeks, and it's gotten a little bit better from the standpoint of much more of the brown sugar, a little bit of a toasted aspect. And there's something you can tell there's a little bit of a different, I don't want to say wood finish, but there's something that they've done a little bit different with the wood that's imparted a slightly different profile, of which I'm okay with. I'm actually really enjoying it. So thanks, brother. Appreciate that. I'll throw in a pour of okay. That's cool. I appreciate that. So anybody who or whoever it is that ends up winning the sample of the Seagrass 16 and the glass, my brother Todd Ritter, he'll throw in a sample of the 69 early times, which not a whole lot of that around anymore, and a Stag Junior 16 in your drawing. Thanks, bud. Appreciate that. Thank you. So get in there, get in on this deal. Now you got even more stuff to be part of. So awesome. What else we got here? This a tough one here. I'm not sure about that. DC, still not sure about that one at all. So the franchise, thanks, buddy. Even though Johnny T is going, John does win an awful lot of things. It seems like whenever he's in it, he's winning. That's for sure. But well, you're definitely in it. Thanks, Gary. Appreciate that, bud. Oh, look at you killing off some JD single barrel proofs. Nothing wrong with killing one of those. Nice proof. Boy, that really got some nice spice. I think as that guy opened up, it's really gotten nice. Much more of a toasted aspect. I don't know if this is toasted at all, but there's a little bit of that. A little bit of a toasted aspect on this. Well, it doesn't say, I don't think. But anyway, so it's kind of cool. Yeah, I would I'd give it a recommendation. I think it's pretty good. Now, I guess it was $80, so you'll have to make the call on that, whether that's worth it to you. I mean, value and worth, that's subjective. So I mean, if you don't mind spending $80 on a barrel proof, it's sourced MGP. If you don't mind that, then fire away. So, all right, what do you got, Mojo? I killed my open rye a few weeks back. Very sad. Yeah, if that was the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof rye, for me, still one of my, I guess I'll say, favorite whiskeys. It's definitely one of my favorite ryes of all time. So, what else we got here? Geez, thanks, buddy. Good to see you. All right, let's move on. So let's get to, man, an hour goes by so fast. And then following my live stream, you can head over to the guys at 21090, Andy and Todd. They'll be doing kind of a Valentine's Day theme, something or other tonight. So, but they always have a good time. So after this, head on over and check out their live stream. Before I bust into this, let me have a little water here. We'll talk about a couple things coming up here with the Mashed Journey. All right, so Friday we have like I said, the Ronazalco rum that's coming out. That'll be a really fun one. Anybody who enjoys really, really good rum, I think you'll be very pleased with this. If you haven't tried a cast strength rum before for $68, $69, it becomes a pretty darn good value when you kind of compare that to like a Foursquare or something along those lines. It's not a Barbadian rum. It is more of a Caribbean rum. Same kind of styles. You're going to get a little slightly different profile on the two. But again, in terms of what you're comparing them to, that's the style of rum that you're going to get. And for that price, I mean, Foursquare has jumped up a lot in price recently. So it's gone crazy. How's it going, Bobby? Good to see you, brother. It's really hard to kind of put it in words. I mean, it becomes in the rum world a pretty darn good value for a 10-year cast strength, Caribbean rum, no sugars, no additives, no nothing, just pure rum deliciousness. So I'll leave it at that. What else do we have going on? So yes, it is Barbadian rum. Foursquare is a Barbadian rum. It's from Barbados, clearly. So thanks, Roger. Appreciate it, buddy. Cheers to you. Thank you, sir. So yeah, we've got that coming Friday, and then what do we have coming? We're still waiting on the Peerless ones. I mean, those things are like on shipping containers or something. We don't have any idea where in the world those things are. So David, just hit me up, send me a message on, you can text me or through Patreon, whatever. We can make arrangements to get you a few of those. So So let's see, we've got the Peerless, those, the rum, the bourbon and the rye, those will hopefully be coming. I mean, literally could be any day. We don't know. We've been told that now for, it seems like, a couple of months. We also have our down home double oak American whiskey that will be coming. That shouldn't be too far down the road. I think one that maybe after the rum, depending on how things fall, could very well be our Sagamore Rye, which turned out, I mean, if you know what Sagamore has been doing, I think you guys will really, really enjoy this. The whiskeys have gotten more age to them, so they're all going to be age stated as 7 years. So they've all gotten, more age to them. So the cool part about the Sagamore was it's actually a blend of two ryes, both MGP, a 95.5, and like a 52 or 53% rye from MGP. So it's not the classic barrel pick. They do the blending, and then you have the option of choosing which ones you prefer, which is what we did when we were in Baltimore the end of last year. So that will be coming really soon. For any of the patrons, you probably saw me post there some of the pictures and all of that. So those are coming. Really fantastic rye whiskey there. So Brazier, yes sir. It is that. So we're not really supposed to say that or anything, but essentially that's what it is. So it's started out as obviously a bourbon, and they did something with it, threw it in the secondary used barrels, so it became an American whiskey. Threw those in there, and so we ended up with kind of something pretty cool and unique with that as well. So that should be coming before too much longer. So that's something we're looking forward to. Again, the Peerless, that's coming. What else we had? We did the ASW. That may not be too far down the road. That one could be coming in a couple, maybe a month or two, something along those lines. We also have our maker's pick, which should be coming. Man, that could be the end of, what is this, February? Man, that could be March, possibly. So that could be a really fun. Well, that's going to be a really sought after one. So that'll be a good one. So a lot of good things. And then so real quick, and then we'll get to the Seagrass 16 here to wrap her up. In March, we're going down. So myself, Jason, a few guys, Marty from Whiskey Knows, Dan, Dusty Dan's Whiskey Reviews. We've got Darrell and Adelio. We're all going to be doing our Four Roses pick. So we're super excited for that. That one will be done in March. Hopefully the turnaround time on that will be fairly quickly. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people who are going to want to get their hands on that. We can fortunately, we got a barrel. There's not many of them even going around this year. We lucked out and got one. So we're hoping that, maybe there's a couple hundred bottles if we get lucky. So we're super excited for that. Then the following day, we're doing something really fun, cool. We're heading over to Starlight, and we're hoping to do a cigar blend. So that will be, again, something pretty cool, and we're really excited for that. So that's something that we're really excited for. So the guys that we're going down with, if anyone's available to come the following day, we're going to go the next morning, Friday morning, and do a pick out there. And then I think everybody's going to go their own way. So it'll be a busy couple of days, but it'll be a really, really fun one. So we're looking forward to that. So lots of really good stuff going on. So I'll say this. I mean, if you're not part of the Mash and Journey Whiskey Club and those things sound interesting, I mean, one thing I'll tell you is we're always going to try to keep, pushing the envelope and getting different things, fun stuff, all of that. So we're really, trying to continue to push some things. And we've got something else that we're hoping to kind of work on, a little bit of a teaser, maybe with involving Bardstown Bourbon Company. I'll leave it at that. We're still working on something there, but that's something that we'll kind of let you guys know a little bit more about once we get a little more confirmation on that. So yeah, Darrell, man, we're happy. When Jason and I were talking, we were happy to get you involved, and we wanted to get you in on the Four Roses one. So happy to have you on that. And if the Starlight one works for you, even better. So they're like swimwear. So let's see what else we got here. All right, let's get into the Seagrass. Let me have a little bit of this. If anyone has any questions on what's coming up or anything else, fire away. Let me know if there's something I missed on. We seem to have a lot of things going on quite a bit, and hopefully next fall we'll be able to release our stout that we have finishing in a 4-gate barrel right now. So that'll be again something very different. We'll have our own beer probably next fall. I'm guessing fall, maybe early winter, depending on how it develops. So what was the euro Scott mentioned to check for the old card? Oh, that would have been no, that wouldn't have been. You're not going to get Old Carter like probably online. I mean, I was talking before maybe about the anybody who was looking for someone shipping to Texas. Shared Pour will ship to Texas. I know that. All right, so here's one thing I'll say about the Seagrass. So is it worth $250? I don't know. Worth, again, is subjective, of course, but it's fantastic. It's 16-year, Canadian, most likely an Alberta rye, cask strength. What is this? 130 some proof, right? 130.82 proof. Doesn't drink nearly that hot, but I'll tell you what, the whiskey that they have, again, that marriage or that blend, and those secondary casks that they've got this thing aging in, as this thing opened up, I'll say for me, the rum added like a really nice kind of that sweet, like richness, that maybe like molasses type of note. But for me, the one kind of cool part was, as this sat in my glass, the apricot brandy really started to kind of become a little bit more of an influence in a very good way. It was very, like, you may even confuse it for like a peach or something like that. But that note or that influence really became somewhat, like DC says. So definitely could see that. So the oak peach, very oily. So you kind of nailed it, DC. So I mean that was a very good description of this whiskey. If you like something that's different and unique, has all that richness, the complexity, it's oily, mouth coating. But for me, as that like almost seemed to like warm up in your glass a little bit as you held it, that apricot or that peach kind of influence really became it was just such a delicious, rich, complex whiskey. So for me, is it worth $250? For me, yeah, it was. I loved the regular Seagrass, and I was willing to pay to see what this was going to be. I knew if I missed it, I would have killed myself later on down the road. So anyway, I pulled the trigger and picked it up, and so far I'm really happy that I ended up getting that. So yeah, it is. I mean, on the glass, you definitely get a little bit of that apricot or kind of peach note, but that rich kind of even like a leather or a tobacco that's there. Those are really nice. Oh man, a lot of honey on it as well. But I love the apricot or the peach, whatever that fruitiness that's there. Really nice. So guys, cheers. Thank you very much. I'll take a sip here. If anybody wants to get in on the winning right now, this will be the last chance here, and then we'll kick it over to Todd and Andy at 21090. Let them kind of take over the rest of the evening. So, all right, let's get into this. Cheers, guys. Thanks for joining tonight. Man, it's just so rich. It's like decadent, creamy, oily. It's very layered. This is the one thing I'll say about this, and I think as this even works down a little bit more, the layers are there, which is kind of really cool. Is that you can almost, I don't want to say necessarily pick out each part of it, but you get the different waves like on your palate. So you are influenced by the molasses, that Canadian rye that's there. It's all present. Definitely that apricot, that fruitiness, maybe the peach, whatever you want to kind of call it. It's there. The influence is definitely there. And man, it's just a really, it's sometimes kind of hard to put it in words, like how really good it is. And does not drink like 130 proof at all. I'll tell you that. So thanks, Adam. Appreciate that, buddy. Send the Seagrass my way. Yeah, maybe you will. So, all right, what do we have here we'll go maybe a couple more minutes. So anybody wants in, fire away and we'll get you in the thing. But for me, I mean, I think it's worth, I think it's worth it just knowing like what it is and the fact that there's just not a lot of that stuff really floating around. And what barrel does, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, these guys they're master blenders. I mean, what it is that they do there, I mean, it's pretty incredible. I mean, to take those blends of 16-year and all different. So I mean, they've aged the 16-year rye separately in in the rum. What is the other one? Madeira or something, I believe it was. Yeah, Madeira and then apricot brandy. So they've aged all of those individually, blended it all together to create this monster. And I'll tell you what, I mean, for me, I think they've kind of nailed it with it. It's a great whiskey and one that I'm glad I ultimately ended up getting. So there you have it. I think if you go to barrel or if you do some looking, there might be some that you're able to still be able to find. So, all right, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. So Ethan, if you can, let me know at this point how many people were in the contest, and then we'll run like a randomizer. I'll do like a 1 through whatever the number is, and have someone. I'll have DC pick a number between 1 and whatever, and that'll be our winner. And then I can get the glass and the sample of the 16-year Seagrass off to someone. I think somebody will really, really appreciate it. So okay, cool. So 1 through 11. So all right, DC, I know you're still in here. Why don't you give me a number between 1 and 11, and then Ethan, you can let me know who tonight's winner is. So. All right, DC, fire away. Let me know when I see that number. Then I'll ask. All right, number 8, Ethan. Who's number 8? And that will be tonight's winner of what I've got. And then whoever wins tonight. Let me get you this here. You can send me an email there, and we'll make sure I'll get your information off to Todd so that he can send you a sample of what he was throwing in the thing tonight. So, all right, let me know who tonight's winner is. And while I'm waiting, I'm going to sip on a little more of the Seagrass. So, I thought, I'm like, well, maybe I'll do like a comparison, but the regular Seagrass, I mean, it's so much sweeter, and it's definitely not as rich and complex as this. So, Mm. It's really, really a fantastic whiskey. That's for sure. So. Do, 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 do. Oh, the Jeopardy theme there. So, all right. Well, guys, thanks. Hey, first of all, thanks for joining tonight. Greatly appreciate everyone. Thanks for all the super chats. Appreciate that as well. Next week, Jason Bronner from Buzzard's Roost. He'll be on, so we'll be going through a few of Roger Reese. Roger, reach out to me, buddy. My email's right there. Send me an email. We'll make sure to get you the Seagrass and the glass, and we'll get you Todd stuff as well. But so yeah, next week we'll have Jason on. We'll be going through a few of the different whiskeys from Buzzard's Roost, and it'll be I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be an interesting perspective to see kind of his influence within the kind of whiskey community. He's been involved for quite a while with the restaurant, and then his involvement in prior barrel picks and just all of that. And then now owning a whiskey brand. So he's got a pretty good hold on, a lot of different, areas within the market. So it'll be kind of fun to talk to Jason and kind of just get his perspective on things. So, all right, guys, thanks again. Appreciate you joining tonight. Always fun to, kind of see you guys on Tuesday nights. I've really come to really appreciate Tuesday nights and seeing a lot of, familiar faces, new faces. Absolutely love it. So, hey, if you're not subscribed, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Share the videos, do all that stuff. Hopefully continue to build the channel and, want to keep bringing you guys some good content. So, anyway, so that's about it. And we will see you guys next Tuesday with Jason Bronner from Buzzard's Roost. And until then, remember, it's about the journey and not the destination. Cheers, guys. We'll see you next Tuesday.